What's good, y'all? So I made $35,508 cash collected with one Instagram page. It had 22K followers, and we did it through clipping, literally through IG Reels, right? And these are literally the numbers. So I'm showing you guys the exact numbers of everything: the revenue, the cash collected, the close rate, show rate, everything. The viewer to customer pipeline. I want to go through that and how we structured the Reels, how we didn't really use YouTube, but how you should go about it, utilizing YouTube and everything. So there's 5 pillars going into it, and I'm gonna go into the content strategy I use for the Reels, how we utilize the IG stories to get people to take action, as well YouTube, right? How I funneled and spoke directly to the ideal customer profile, the ICP, and then how I converted these people into cash, right? So I wanna get straight to it. Like I said, we didn't utilize YouTube much, sadly, but I'm still gonna show you how we utilize it or how you should utilize it. So, you can make more money through this content ecosystem, because that's essentially what it is. So I want to go straight to it with Instagram, how we were structuring the Reels. So as you can see, this was the clipping page, strictly for shorts, literally for Reels, right? How you should structure your Reels. So there's 2 type of Reels that you should be doing, right? It's top of funnel, which is megaphone style content, made to go viral, lifestyle after achieved X desire. This was an e-com person, so they were successful in e-com. Lifestyle after achieved X desire. Can be education too, like quick tips or advice for beginners. Can be funny, relatable, to niche, right? But the whole goal of top of funnel content is just to cast a big net of leads, right? And then structuring the middle funnel content, right? Which is authority content. So the goal is just warming up viewers by giving them value, right? This is just gonna help you solidify yourself as an authority in the space, right? Valuable content, videos giving value on how you achieved X desire, right? And I'll show you how we structured it, right? The goal of this whole thing, right, is you want to be a friendly, relatable expert with Reels. This is how you structure your Reels. You want to be friendly, right? They want to trust you. You also want to be relatable, so you have to level yourself with the viewer so they can feel that this is achievable. This is an achievable desire because you were just like them. And then you want to show off authority, that you're an expert in the field, because why would they buy from somebody who's not competent, right? Right, so friendly, I love this guy, relatable, this guy's like me, expert, this guy's knowledgeable, he's achieved X desire, I can learn from him. So we did 2 Reels a week minimum, right? These Reels are essentially free ads. We didn't do any ads, no paid ads with this launch, right? And I feel like we could have did way more if we utilized YouTube, which from now on, I would utilize YouTube, right? So 2 Reels a week minimum, and these Reels are essentially free ads, right? You can see some of the content views, 12.8K, 10K, 13K. I know we had some viral ones pop off. This was 38K. Anyways, once we did that, right, you want to structure your Reels this way. So this is your content ecosystem, just pulling in new leads. This is essentially free ads. You want to get them to take action, right? You can take action through Reels, right? DM me this for like a dog, free lead magnets, getting them to the DMs. But our bread and butter was stories, right? You want to structure your story sequences. So this is my usual format when I'm doing any CTA, any call to action, right? So I'll do hook, story with proof, more proof, and then a call to action, right? DM me game if you want X desire, DM me this if you want this free lead magnet, DM me this. Try to put emoji as well. This is what I call a scroll stopper, an emoji, because the more interactions, the more story, the more the story gets pushed. So you could do Q&As, you could do emoji buttons for them to click it, right? And then you do story proof, more proof, then call to action, right? This is kind of the structure for story sequences, because you can cycle them out as well, especially if you're getting more leads in, more followers. You always want to be cycling story sequences. So 1 time a week, we do hard CTA with results. So we just post results and we would put the CTA. So however many results, it doesn't really matter. You just don't want to go too overboard. Yeah, sometimes you can, right? 2 story sequence, just a CTA, results, or a picture with a whole bunch of results. Next one is a CTA, a call to action. As well, you want to do some, for lifestyle, personal stories or personal wins, right? You're a person. This is a personal brand. You don't want to just be selling, right? You also want to put personal stories. You want to put lifestyle. This is a personal brand at the end of the day, right? And then we do 1 free asset, like a lead magnet, a free document, a free something, free sauce, right? It could be a YouTube video as well, which worked the best. This worked for us the best, the lead magnets. The best that worked for us was the results and the lead magnets. So this is a 3 to 4 story sequence, and hook, story, more proof, desire, or hook, story, more proof, call to action to get this lead magnet, this free asset, right? And then a talking head, right? A talking head story where you connect with the viewer. You're just talking to them, you're reflecting on something. It doesn't really matter, right? You're just being a real person, a human on the IG account, and you're talking, right? You're not just a real page, right? The goal is for them to just take action, consume more bottom of funnel content, whether it be a YouTube video solving the problem, a free lead magnet, a sales asset, etc. That is the goal, right? And we get them in through this. Like, this is kind of the sales process, and I'll go more into that later, but warm inbound, right? So the lead follows the call to action. You build rapport on current situation, identify the gap, propose call. Once the call is booked, we send more assets, right? More assets. And we also create WhatsApp group chats, right? Because this is more a warm touch point to talk to them. Or you could do it through IG still, right? It doesn't matter, right? So we'd send more assets, and then we get them on a closing call and close them, right? Same thing here as well. This time, sometimes we'd outbound, right? If the leads were slow, we just go out and reach the people who are engaging the most. And the same thing, right? Build rapport, identify a gap, and you can send an asset, usually like a bottom of funnel YouTube video, catered to specifically solving a pro problem. This is why I say you want to utilize YouTube. Propose call if they're qualified, and then book the call, send more assets, and then close them, right? Especially if you get a bottom of funnel video. But I'll get more into this later, especially if you make videos catered to specific problems, you create a lot of trust, right? And this will just help the whole funnel, right? And I'll get more into that later, like I said. So once you structured your IG, it's pretty simple. You want to be, the goal is just to be consistent, right? 2 reels a week minimum, and keeping the structure up. Remember, this is a personal brand. You don't always want to be selling. You need to be making good content, right? Top of funnel and middle funnel, a little mixture, and you want to be a friendly, relatable expert at the end of the day, right? So now I want to get into YouTube and how we could have utilized YouTube more, but YouTube is the biggest nurture point, and you should be funneling everybody to a longer form style, right? This is the best nurturing to make money from content. Point blank, period. And you need to use this as the engine, right? This is public sales assets. This is public VSLs. Very nurturing, right? And this is kind of how I structure my YouTube videos. And I've made 5K from one YouTube video, and I have a video on that. You can watch more on that, how I utilize YouTube more for myself. But you want to use top of funnel, middle of funnel, bottom of funnel, and then convert to cash. I'll show you how we do this. So top of funnel is just casting a net for more people to get inside the ecosystem, builds that first line of trust. Middle of funnel, building that authority, like I said. And you see some of this. This is just to go viral. Middle of funnel is nurturing them. At this point, you cast it in, and we're just funneling the serious people in here. And then bottom of funnel, right? This is that 1 to 5% of buyers in the audience. You trust overload, whether it be client result, case studies, or self-testimonials, or specific niche problems that you can send as public assets, right? And then the sales process, right? So these are, kind of the 2 content structures that you want to put for your YouTube and your Instagram in order to fuel the business, right? And the business, when I mean the business, is you need to know what and who you are selling to, right? You need to do the market research. You need to see who's coming in this content funnel, this content web, and you need to conduct the market research to find your direct ICP, because you want to get super clear on your messaging, right? You want to know your ICP like the back of your hand. You want to know exactly how their brain works, right? The more market research you have, the better you can sell to your customer, right? So this is mandatory for selling any product in any industry, especially if you're a content creator, if you're selling any product to them, right? If you already have some sort of existing audience, you can run quick market research surveys through existing communities, IG stories, email lists. I kind of have a structure here, right? You can pause the video, IG, story poll, type form. You get it. Pause the video right here. You can see some of the structure styles I do for different platforms on how I run market research. If you have, the more, the better, right? So use it on all your social platforms. You want to conduct a deep market research, right? Because you're just trying to get clarity on their biggest desires, biggest struggles, the biggest pain points, the age range, the demographic, the psychographic. So the way their brain works, the people you're talking to, right? The gap that is separating them from point A to point Z, the bridge that you're going to create for them, right? So to get from the clients from pain to desire, so that customer journey, your unique mechanism. In this case, it was e-com, a clothing brand, right? And then the products, right? The products you're going to give them, right? The high ticket offer, the frequently asked question, the objection handling that you're going to use for your selling. That's what you want to get a clear example or clear clarity on, right? That's what you want to get clarity on, right? And I'll give you an example of a weak offer. So this is like an online fitness coach for women. Messaging doesn't resonate enough. This is too broad, right? Somebody who's done the market research, they know their audience. Here's a stronger example from somebody who's done it, right? So this is an online fitness coach. Same thing for women, but this is for mothers who want to bounce back. So ages 35 to 50. This offer is going to hit harder, basically. This offer is stronger and it resonates with somebody. So the messaging targets the exact customer. And if market research is done right, this will translate through the content, through the marketing, through the sales process, etc. Right? The mother who sees this is going to resonate with everything and is willing to pay top dollar with the right systems, right? And I have a whole video talking about market research on how I conduct a deep dive market research. If you need help on that, link in the description, right? So once we do that, you need to create a no-brainer offer. Now that you know who you are selling to, you have their biggest struggles, you have the unique mechanism, you have the desired outcome. You need to create a risk reversal and a time frame to get them. And your offer is pretty simple. So achieve X desired outcome in certain time constraint with unique mechanism, without pain or struggle, with risk reversal. Because they don't trust you fully. Even though they trust you, there needs to be risk on your side. So I'll give you an example. Scale your business. This is kind of what we use. Scale your business to 5 to 10K in 90 days with a unique mechanism without having previous experience, or we will work for free with you till achieved result, right? And then this is kind of the offer stack that we had. We had a one-to-one intimate coaching, weekly group calls, one-to-one coaching in time frame 30 to 90 days for 3 to 5K. We could have charged more. This is more done with you, more done for you. And then there's bonus content. So exclusive access tied more to you and your time, or to the creator's time, which is why we charge the higher tickets. The more closer to your time, the more intimate the value is, the more you want to charge, right? And then we had a low ticket MRR, or a lifetime, which was like 1K. And this was just weekly group coaching, less tied to the time. You're selling more systems, so this was more done with you, more do it yourself. And that's why we charge lower tickets, right? So this is how we structured the offer. And you want them to feel stupid to say no to it. Because if you know exactly who it is, you know their struggles, you know their unique mechanism to get them to desired outcome, and you create a risk reversal and a time constraint, there's no reason they should say no if you do it right, right? So they feel dumb saying no to it. That's the goal, creating a no-brainer offer for them to buy whatever you're selling, right? And then now that we did all these steps, right, we did the structuring of the IG, we did the structuring of the YouTube, we did the structuring of the market research, we created the offer, we converted them with cash, right? So, and there was 2 initial ways from appointment to cash, or you could say 3, and I'll show you it, and I'll use me as an example. So you could do it through a lander page. Usually you want to do this from YouTube. So like they hop on a lander, you have a headline, so how you can make an extra 30 to 50K every month with your coaching business. And then here's the pain, right, without practically doing any work. We got a VSL and a Calendly booking page once the call is booked. Thank you page, set a requalify, call confirmation, more pre-call framing assets, more sales assets to get them warm. They need to be piping hot before they hop on any sales call. Make sure they consume the VSL, the video sales letter, the pre-call asset, and then manual reminders, automated reminders to, that the call is going to be at a certain time, and then you close them on an offer. So what am I doing here? Through this content ecosystem, once they're warm enough, they're going to buy, or once they're warm enough, they're going to follow any call to action that you do, right? So in this case, they hopped on a landing page with a video sales letter. In the video sales letter, all it's doing is it's calling out pain points of the viewer, points out the desires. It makes the creator relate to the viewer, explain their own struggles. You're leveling them. You're leveling yourself with them, right? Just explaining your own struggles to achieve this success. It shows self-testimonial, creates authority, shows the unique mechanism. So e-com, the clothing brand, this is how you're going to build this business to scale to X desire, right? More case studies, so student case studies. This is just proof of concept that the coaching actually works. Objection handling, all self-doubts, and then creating the offer that directly solves the problem. This is all in one video. This is super important for every offer. You want to have a video sales letter. And I do this with all my clients I work with. So if you're a creator, you're a consultant, you're a coach, and you're looking to scale to 30 to 50K, or you want to implement something like this into your business, first link in the description, book a call with me. I can do this for you, right? So once the call's booked, like I said, setter requalifies, a hired sales rep or yourself closes the deal using material from the initial probing and average objection handles found in the market research, right? And then you're going to sell that vehicle, right? That's how you close them. That's what we did with the lander page, right? And then we did this through DMs. This is what cooked. Like I said earlier with the story sequences, the hook, the story and proof, the more undeniable proof, we get them to the DMs. This is a super warm touch point because they're talking to the creator, which is the setter, right? You want to hire a sales rep to be in the DMs to handle it because you just simply, you don't have that much time, right? You need to be focused on content and fulfillment, right? You can't really juggle everything. So you hire a sales rep, a setter. And like I said, the lead follows the DM CTA, build rapport, identify a gap. This is more ammo for bottom of funnel content. So you want to pay attention to these gaps, to these problems that they're telling you, and you want to create YouTube videos catered to that, because once you specifically solve a problem, it's way more trust. Like the trust is overflowed, right? And then you propose a call. If qualified, the call's booked. Once the call's booked, WhatsApp group chat created, send pre-call asset framing the sale or offer, VSL, sales assets, more value emails leading up to the call. And then we hop on a call, close them. Same with this, right? If the leads were low, I'd see, which leads are more engaged, and I'd reach out to them, right? So I'd build rapport on the current situation. Same thing. Identify a gap, propose call. If qualified, call booked. Literally same thing, right? And what I'm doing here, there's an initial message, right? Inbound or outbound, we qualify through probing, identify a gap through probing, and we send the YouTube asset. That's why it's warmer, because they get really warm right here. And from there, we transition into call and then requalify if we have to, right? And then once the call's booked, we close them, right? And through this content ecosystem, like I said, mostly through Reels, IG Reels, through clipping, literally, this is what Brez is doing right now at a mass scale. So through clipping, we did 35.5K cash collected. And as you can see, this is the revenue. This was the cash collected. This was the close rate. So we closed 42% of our calls, which is pretty good. Could have been higher. The show rate was pretty nice, 91%. The calls taken, 31. Deals closed, 13. Average order value. Our highest package was 5K, but we were really pitching 3K a lot. So 1,815 was the average order value. Your calls per day, 1 call per day, basically. And then we had a school community, which was running monthly recurring revenue. We did 10,310 monthly recurring. And through that, with everything, we did 37.7K revenue and 35.5K cash, right? And that was the viewer customer pipeline. And that's basically how we made this through IG Reels, through clipping, and how you can do it too. So if you're a coach, you're a consultant, you're a creator, and you're looking to monetize your audience, scale to 30 to 50K, definitely book a call if you want to implement something like this, or if you want to see if we can work together, see if you're a good fit as well. Like I said, some of those videos like market research, how I structured YouTube, link in the description, and sub up, like, comment, subscribe. And you could also drop a follow on IG. It's going to be linked in the description if you want to chop it up, get some quick questions out the way, or you want to connect, whatever, follow me on IG. Peace out.